Mesut Özil called time on a long and decorated career this week, deciding to retire at the age of just 34 after an unsuccessful spell in Turkey with Fenerbahçe and then most recently, Istanbul Başakşehir. The German international cited a buildup of injuries as the reason for his decision, thanking all former clubs and teammates in an emotional statement on Wednesday. Winner of a World Cup with his country and multiple major honors at club level, the midfielder's impact on the game transcended statistics, particularly at the likes of Real Madrid and Arsenal, where his technical quality was adored by supporters. After cutting his teeth in the Bundesliga with Schalke and Werder Bremen, a then 21-year-old Özil gathered mass attention for his performances in the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, where he starred in a youthful German side that also included youngsters such as Thomas Müller, Sami Khedira and Toni Kroos. His role in a 4-1 round of 16 win over England went relatively unnoticed amid the controversy of Frank Lampard's goal that never was, but the young German seemingly caught the eye of Wayne Rooney, who flew back to Manchester after his country's elimination for crunch talks with Sir Alex Ferguson. The Reds striker was growing frustrated with transfer business around Old Trafford, believing the club were unable to match his lofty ambitions by attracting top-class players. And after returning from South Africa and being impressed by Özil, knowing a top club would soon swoop, he urged Ferguson to act swiftly but was savagely knocked back, as the legendary United manager later wrote in his autobiography. At that meeting, Rooney, was hugely sheepish, Ferguson claimed. I felt he'd been programmed in what he was trying to say. The basis of his complaint was that we were not sufficiently ambitious. My response was to ask Wayne, when have we not challenged for the league in the last 20 years? How many European finals have we been to in the last 3 or 4 years? Wayne said that we should have pursued Mesut Özil, who had joined Real Madrid from Werder Bremen. My reply was that it was none of his business who we should have gone for. I told him it was his job to play and perform. My job was to pick the correct teams. And so far I had been getting it right. Well, he was not on our radar at the time. Özil, when at Werder Bremen, played wide right, then towards the end of the season played him off the front. He went to South Africa and did very well, but wasn't on our radar. But I explained to Wayne, and we get most of our decisions right. Özil instead joined Real Madrid on August 17 in a deal worth around £16 million at the time, having impressed then Los Blancos manager José Mourinho with his performances in South Africa. United's failure to act on Rooney's recommendations that summer stuck, with the striker explosively revealing his desire to leave the club the following October. During those meetings in August, the first asked for assurances about the continued ability of the club to attract the top players in the world, he said in a strongly worded statement. He was eventually persuaded to stay at Old Trafford not long after the statement, signing a new 5-year contract 2 days later and vowing to win back the trust of the United fanbase. The striker stayed in M16 for another 7 seasons, surpassing the 250-goal mark in all competitions and bringing home 2 more Premier League titles. Rooney would eventually move on from United in 2017, returning to boyhood club Everton before short stints at D.C. United and Derby County, both of whom he has managed since. Speaking on the matter in 2022 during the Amazon Prime documentary, Rooney, based on his career, the former England international justified his demands, pointing to the sales of Carlos Tevez and Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester City and Real Madrid respectively. "We sold Carlos Tevez. Then we sold Cristiano Ronaldo. I was the one player left who was high profile," he said. "I went into Alex Ferguson's office, and I said to him, 'What's the plan here? At the minute, we've brought in 2 young English players who are unproven.'" I remember Alex Ferguson's response was, "Get out of my office." But his actions didn't go down well inside the Reds' dressing room, with Gary Neville admitting in the documentary that it hit the players like a ton of bricks. "The one big disappointment I had with Wayne was when he announced it publicly. Just as we were walking into the changing rooms, his teammates were playing a game," Neville said. "Don't do that to us. Take your **** somewhere else. It's on Sky Sports News, beamed into us. It literally hit us like a ton of bricks, because this wasn't him. This is not him. He would never damage his teammates, he was a team player. That was the only time I thought he'd let himself down." Upon reflection, the saga was relatively short and amounted to little in terms of affecting Rooney's relationship with the United fanbase, helped in part by the continuation of his development into one of the club's finest ever players and their all-time top scorer with 253 goals in 559 appearances. But there was a brief spell in October of 13 years ago in which the striker's time at Old Trafford looked to be over, ending sourly via a heated argument with Ferguson and a very public airing of the pair's dirty laundry. At the center of it all was Özil, who eventually joined Ronaldo in Madrid, winning the La Liga and the Copa del Rey before finally coming to England and joining Arsenal. Widely regarded as a magical player who never truly fulfilled his potential, one can only imagine how that career may have differed if Ferguson had decided to placate Rooney and sign the German.